Hi, everybody. This is Alan Fine, and I am here with Natasha Rhymes, who's the Group Director of PR and Communications for Minor Hotels, an international hotel chain. We were supposed to be together at the Traveler Made Conference in Spain, but now we're doing it virtually, and this is Insider Travel Report. Natasha, thank you for being with us, and thank you for arranging that next week we're going to talk with Michael Marshall, who's the Chief Commercial Officer for Minor Hotels, where we'll talk in depth about minor hotels and the COVID-19 pandemic. First of all, I want to tell our viewers that we're going to do something a little unusual right now. Right now, with all the pandemic reporting and all the worry, it's going to be nice to have, coming from you, a presentation that will embrace us in luxury and looking forward. You've got all these properties that are either just opened or opening, and you want to tell us about it. And so for the travel advisor that doesn't know about minor hotels, this is a chance to find out and to get involved so that when we start booking, you are aware of these properties. So Natasha, tell us a little bit about what you're going to present.
I'm going to talk to you this evening a little bit about some of the hotels that are part of Minor Hotels, some recent openings during 2019 and some things that are coming up. I'll also give you a little introduction to Minor Hotels as well, and some of the things that I would have shared with Alan had we met at Traveler Made in Marbella back in March.
The key is also that you're going to be focusing on Anantara and the luxury segment, correct?
Correct, yes. So Anantara, if I can tell you a little bit about the Anantara brand, the ethos of the brand is all about destination experiences. And when Anantara was launched almost 20 years ago, it will celebrate its 20th anniversary in March next year. So when the brand was launched, it was all about destination experiences. And I think it's fair to say that experiences is a buzzword it's been a bit overused the last few years, but we do genuinely believe that when we launched the brand 20 years ago, we talked about experiences, and it's been integral for Anantara since the brand launched back then. So something we're very passionate about. We're a luxury destination experience driven brand.
I'm fastening my safety belts.
Settle in, grab your cup of tea. Okay, well, let me first of all start the presentation. Well, it's a pleasure to be here this evening, and let me tell you a little bit about Minor Hotels. Minor is part of Minor International, which is a company based in Thailand with HQ in Bangkok, and currently has 540 hotels in 55 countries. You can see here, truly global. The company started, Minor International and Minor Hotels both started 52 years ago. So the company celebrated in 2018 its 50th anniversary, and started off in Asia and then grew to the Middle East, the Indian Ocean, Asia Pacific region, and into Southern Africa. And then at the end of 2018, Minor acquired the NH Hotel Group, which is based in Spain. And with it, a significant portfolio of hotels, over 100 hotels in Spain, over 50 hotels in Germany, and really transformed Minor Hotels into a truly global hospitality company and hotel group, also adding hotels in South America and in the Caribbean and Central America as well. So as I mentioned, currently 540 hotels in 55 countries, and that's across 8 hotel brands. Minor's original brands were Anantara, Avani, Eloana Collection in East Africa, Oaks, and Tivoli. And then we acquired with NH Hotel Group their 3 brands, which are NH Collection, Now Hotels, and NH Hotels. So that's a snapshot of where we are at the moment. I'm going to talk today predominantly about Anantara, because it's Anantara Hotels that I would have been representing at Traveler Made. And we had quite a lot happen at the back end of last year. Some recent openings, first of all. In December, we launched our first Anantara in North Africa at Anantara Tozeur Resort in Tunisia in the south of the country. It's a desert oasis resort with 93 suites and villas. And this is one of the pool villas. So the resort's located it's in the southwest of the country, and to the west is the Sahara Desert, and out to the east, which is one of the largest salt plains you will find. It's called the Chott El Djerid, and this is one of the pool villas that looks out over the salt plains, as you can see. This picture as well shows that, so these stunning salt plains stretch for over 100 kilometers. And then in terms of the landscape, there's some wonderful mountains and lots of oases with palm trees. Tunisia produces lots of dates, and you'll see lots of these date oases and the famous Tunisian Degle Noor, which is the queen of dates. One of Anantara's signature concepts is dining by design, and all Anantara hotels, you'll be able to have a couple of spots within a resort or in the area of the hotel, and you'll be able to organize a bespoke dining experience, be it for a special occasion or a romantic evening or a family gathering, and it's called Dining by Design. So this is Dining by Design in the desert, just close to Anantara Tozeur Resort in Tunisia. You can see rather a stunning setup there. And then just one more in terms of the destination, and this is quite special to me. There are quite a few of the scenes from some of the Star Wars movies were filmed in Tunisia. And this is Midas Canyon, which was in the first movies, in the first trilogy, and also some of the villages from the movie. So they're very close to the resort, and you can go and see them, and great if you're a Star Wars fan like me. I like to get the Star Wars angle in there. Moving to a different part of the world, so from North Africa to Asia, we opened our first resort in Malaysia, our first Anantara resort in Desaru Coast. And Desaru Coast is a new luxury resort destination that's being developed. Anantara just opened in December, and it's one of a number of resorts there. Desaru Coast is in the southeastern corner of Malaysia in Johor Bahru province, and it's about 2 hours from Singapore, so Singapore is a very important market for it. And also there is a ferry that goes, and you take the ferry and then a short drive. The resort has 123 keys, which includes 20 3- and 4-bedroom residences, such as the one you can see here, with their own pools as well. And yes, it's a wonderful destination. It's still in development actually at the moment. There's an Ernie Els golf course coming. There's a marina under development, a water park, and this is, I mentioned dining by design before. This is on the beach down from the resort and looks out over the South China Sea. And there's 17 kilometers of this beautiful, pristine beach in Desaru Coast. So a really super new up and coming destination in Malaysia. From one beach to another, in the southern Indian Ocean, Mauritius. Again, this is our first property in Mauritius, Anantara Eco Resort, opened in September. This property has 165 rooms and will be adding 8 pool villas later this year. Now the resort it's in the southeastern corner of the island, which is, I'm sure many of you are familiar with Mauritius and the sort of tourism leisure landscape there. There's lots of areas that are quite busy with hotels, and the new Anantara is away from those in a different part of the island on the southeast, which is in close proximity to Marble, which is the old capital, and Blue Bay Marine Park with wonderful diving and fantastic clear blue waters. This is one of the suites looking out over the ocean. And there's some wonderful places to explore from the resort. You can see here the Black Gorge Mountains, which are less than an hour's drive away, and some lovely scenery for hiking and wildlife. And then the sea here is, you can see it's crystal clear just off of the coast of Marburg. And the red and white boat here is a pirogue, which is the old style fishing boats. And guests have the opportunity to go out with some of the locals on their boats and swim in the crystal clear waters and do a bit of fishing if they like, and some snorkeling, really lovely. And then Anantara Villa Padiana Palace opened last summer, and it's actually just outside Marbella, where we should have been meeting back in March, where Traveller Made took place. And it's a resort that Anantara took over, like I said, last year and rebranded to Anantara. 132 guest rooms and suites on a really stunning sort of landscape with 3 golf courses, a golf academy. You can see it's just set back on from the ocean, and it's in the foothills of Andalusia and up into the mountains. Lovely drives and places to be able to go. This is one of the suites. And then in terms of Andalusia, it is well known for its food and wine, and the Pueblos Blancos, the white towns you can see here, and Ronda is less than an hour away. A really lovely places to be able to visit from Andalusia. And at the resort as well, it's a real gastro property too. Paco Roncero is a 2 Michelin star Spanish chef who has a restaurant at the resort. And there's also a beach club down at the beach and a lovely Anantara spa. I should say that all Anantara properties have an Anantara spa, and there's a particularly good one, Anantara Villa Padierna Palace in Spain. That's the 4 openings that we had last year. I would just add too, we had some exciting news today. Anantara Tozeur Resort, I meant to mention at the time, was listed in Condé Nast Travelers 2020 hot list, which we found out today. So we're very excited about that. And just going ahead then to some upcoming openings. Anantara Ubud Resort opening in Bali. This was supposed to open at the end of this year, but unfortunately has been pushed back to next year under the current situation we have going on globally. The resort will open hopefully by the middle of next year. It's in Bali, and we already have 2 Anantaras in Bali, one in Uluwatu and one in Seminyak. This is an all-suite resort, suites and pool villas. So it has 50 suites and then 30 1- and 2-bedroom pool villas, 15 of which will be for sale. And this lovely photo is actually of one of those pool villas. This is a proper photo, and we'll be announcing the hotel with a little bit more information and some photos officially soon. So that's one to look forward to. And then in the part of the world where I am, in the United Arab Emirates, another of the Emirates is Ras Al Khaimah, and next year we'll be opening the Anantara Mina Al Arab Ras Al Khaimah Resort. This property has 174 rooms across guest rooms, suites, pool villas, and also overwater villas. You can see here on the left of the picture. It's actually very surprising to say that these will not only be the first overwater villas in Ras Al Khaimah, they will also only be the second overwater villas in the whole of the UAE. The first and only of which at the moment are at Anantara Palm here in Dubai. So we will have the next overwater villas coming. It's going to have some fantastic eco-credentials as well, this property, and it has mangroves surrounding it, and dugongs have been spotted, and turtles, and fantastic bird life. So really will be great for people who are interested in nature and ecosystems, etc. This is one of the overwater villas. So that will be opening middle of next year, and again, one we're looking forward to. And then hopefully by the end of this year, the Marca Hotel in Dublin will become the first Anantara in Northern Europe when it is rebranded to Anantara the Marca. And yeah, it'll be very good. It'll be our 3rd Anantara in Europe, along with Villa Padierna and Anantara Villa Moura in Portugal. So we're adding Ireland into that mix as well, and hopefully some others in Europe to come soon. Moving on to some Anantara news and experiences. This is a lovely one. I'm sure many of you are familiar with or have heard of one of our favourite hotels, Anantara Golden Triangle Elephant Camp and Resort in the north of Thailand. At the end of last year, we launched 2 jungle bubbles in the resort, as you can see here. And guests have the opportunity to stay overnight in one of the jungle bubbles. And free roaming elephants are, as you can see, they will outside. It's very much a case of an elephant not in the room, but you can watch the elephants in a really very special experience at Anantara Golden Triangle. And at the same resort, they've also recently launched several Royal Enfield sidecars like this, so guests have the opportunity to explore the very substantial landscapes and estate at Anantara Golden Triangle, and you might meet some of the friendly Ellies on your route. Staying in Thailand, but now moving down to the south. This is Layan Residences by Anantara on the island of Phuket. And wanted to reference this particularly because we feel that going forward there may be a lot of focus on privacy and isolation and families wanting to holiday together in luxury. And these residences, as you can see, this has 7 bedrooms. It's actually part of, or it's set just behind Anantara Layan Resort in Phuket. So guests here are able to use the facilities of the resort as well. And it looks out over Bang Tao Bay here and beautiful beaches. So a really stunning location in Phuket alongside Anantara Layan Resort. From Asia, now back to the Middle East. And talking about remote destinations and isolation, we have a couple of new experiences to do with overnight camping. At Al Balid Resort Salalah in the south of Oman, Anantara has partnered with a company that does luxury mobile camping. And you will travel with your guide a couple of hours in from the coastline where the resort is and set up camp somewhere in the desert and some lovely experiences overnight and exploring. And then the next day you can up sticks and move somewhere else. It's a very flexible experience, so guests can do as they like, depending on how long they have that they want to spend in the camping. And then another camping experience, which is still really in the process of being launched. Camp Nujum is a new Bedouin camping experience at Qasr Al Sarab Desert Resort by Anantara in Abu Dhabi here in the UAE. And like I said, this is just being launched at the moment. Guests can travel out by, this shows horses, but actually you can travel out to the camp by camel, and then there's a great dining experience during the evening, and you have your overnight Bedouin camping experience with a few luxury touches, but this is in the desert overnight and great for some, you'll be sleeping with the stars above you and wonderful for stargazing. On the subject of stargazing, moving to the Indian Ocean, we have 3 Anantara resorts in the Maldives, and at Anantara Kihava Maldives Villas, we have a wonderful observatory here, which is the most powerful observatory in the Maldives. You can see here on the top layer, just to the right of the observatory, is an area where guests can enjoy a wonderful stargazing experience with our sky guru, who is this gentleman you can see in the picture called Shamim. Shamim is one of the team at the hotel by day, and then in the evening he does stargazing sessions with guests. So you have a bottle of champagne, some canapes, and you spend an hour with Shamim looking at the night sky. And it's a wonderful experience. He's a qualified astronomer, so you can be, it's great for children if you want to learn some basics, or for really people that know the night sky and are experts. He can dial up, down, depending on what's needed by the guest. Very special experience in the Indian Ocean. From one small Indian Ocean island to another, this is now in southern Africa, Mozambique, and Anantara Majumbe Island Resort. Again, we were thinking that I mentioned before, privacy and isolation. Anantara Majumbe is actually perfect for buyouts. It has had buyouts before. It's just 12 pool villas on an island that's about 40 minutes or so by helicopter from the mainland off of the north of Mozambique in the Carimbas archipelago. You can see here beautiful, stunning sea, and it's great for diving and snorkeling and just getting away from the world and relaxing on your own desert island. And this is one of the interiors of the pool villas, which were recently refurbished. And on the subject of refurbishment, we have 2 resorts in Mozambique. Off of the south of the coast of Mozambique is Anantara Bazaruto Island Resorts. And at the end of last year, new beach pool villas were added at this resort as well. And staying in southern Africa, our third Anantara in the region is the Royal Livingston Hotel by Anantara, which is on the banks of the Zambezi, right next to the Victoria Falls. You can see the hotel here is just to the left, bottom left of the picture above where it says the Royal. And depending on the wind direction, when you're in the grounds of the hotel, you really can feel the spray from the falls, and also depending on the time of year, because sometimes they're much more powerful than other. It's based in a national park, and you will come face to face frequently with giraffes and as you can see here, who enjoy the resort as well as the guests. So they're resident on a full-time basis. The resort, as you can see, is right on the Zambezi, and recently launched some new spa pavilions right on the bank, so you can lay and have your massage and be looking out over the river and the Zambezi, very, very close to the falls. So really very special experiences. And the Royal Livingston Express is a train that's operated by the resort as well. And it travels in the evening, and the first stop at sunset is on this bridge over the falls. So guests can get their drink, get off of the train, have lots of pictures taken, and enjoy the sunset over the falls. And then re-get on the train and travel. Well, they have a fine dining experience, dinner, and some lovely food and wine, and travel back. So that's something that's organised by the hotel, and really, really fabulous experience at the Victoria Falls. Moving to Sri Lanka, again, another Indian Ocean destination where Anantara has two resorts. In the south, in Tangaul, Anantara Peacehaven Tangaul Resort. I just wanted to mention some of these sustainable initiatives that the hotel has. It really is very strong on the eco and sustainability side. It has regular turtle hatchings, and they have a chap called Eddie, who is a nature guru who can take guests around. And then this is the farm that's on location at the resort, where they produce lots of produce, and guests can enjoy an experience called the harvest table. They can go and have a look around the farm, be shown around, see where the produce is cooked, and everything that you will have for your lunch or dinner experience is produced in this farm. And you can't actually see in the picture, but there's a small tree house which seats about 4 people, and you have your harvest table, fully sustainable, sustainably grown dining experience in the tree house. Also in Sri Lanka, Anantara Kalutara Resort, which is about an hour or so south of Colombo, the capital, launched late last year a zip lining and adventure tower over the lagoon and river there at the Kalu River, which is a fun experience to have. And then almost last but not least, in Vietnam, Anantara Quignon Villas launched at the beginning of last year. It's a small resort with just 26 pool villas along the coast, sort of hugging the side you can see here. There's 14 villas along the beachfront, and then the same again along the hillside looking out over the coast. A really beautiful spot. And this is one of the villas. On the right-hand side there is a sala where you can have a dining experience. Again, great if people are wanting to stay in their villa and semi-isolate away from crowds. Certainly Quignon, it's a little bit off the beaten track from a tourist perspective, and still an undiscovered destination in Vietnam. So you won't be with too many tourists and things in Quignon. We have 2 other Anantara resorts in Vietnam. One of them is Anantara Hoi An, and to get to Hoi An, you fly into Da Nang. And something which we're very excited about and will be announcing officially very soon is a new train experience to be able to travel between the 2 resorts. Unfortunately, I don't have any pictures of this experience, but the new train is called the Vietage, and it's going to be one Anantara carriage on the normal train that travels along between Quignon and Da Nang. It takes about 6 hours and will accommodate 12 guests, I believe. And during your trip, obviously, it's a beautiful luxury kitted out carriage, and you have a 3-course meal while you're on there, some great food and free flow wine and beers and drinks. And also you are able to have a head or shoulder massage. There will be a spa therapist on board as well, and your ticket includes a head or shoulder massage. So this is something we're very excited about. It'll be launching in July, properly launching, I believe, on the 1st of July, and we will be launching it to market imminently when we have photography. So coming soon, the new train in Vietnam, which will link our two of our Anantara resorts. And that's everything I was going to share with you today. So Alan, thank you. Back to you.
Natasha, thank you very much for that. The properties are stunning, and I just can't wait till we can all go there. And I hope the travel advisors have learned something so that they can, in fact, how will travel advisors best work with minor hotels? So because if they should learn about these more than just from your presentation, and then move forward and try to entice their clients.
As you mentioned, Alan, before I started and went through the presentation, Michael Marshall, our Chief Commercial Officer, will be speaking to you in a few days, and he's going to talk to you about how Minor has worked its way through the current COVID-19 situation, where we stand now, and how we're looking forward, and how we can also work with all of you going forward. So I'd like to thank you very much for your support. I hope you will have the opportunity to visit an Anantara soon, perhaps not that soon, but later in the year or at some point in the future. And thank you very much for listening.
Well, thank you again. And this is Alan Fine for Insider Travel Report.